The Suns come into a Western Conference contest in this game. We're live in Houston where the Rockets have home court advantage. The excitement of the NBA is on the way. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Doris Burke courtside. Next to me, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr in the booth. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Bledsoe is joined in the backcourt by Dragic. Inside, it's Morris and Plumlee. And it's Tucker in at the threesome. Shot's good. Rockets led the league in three-point attempts last year, guys, after tying for the lead the season prior.
Well, the advanced stats community sees the three-pointer as the best shot after a layup. I'm not sure I agree entirely, but you know, the Rockets numbers crunchers have kind of established that, and as a result, the coaching staff has given the players the green light.
Phoenix on defense. It's a three-point game. Here's Ariza. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Heard the whistle and still kept his focus, able to knock that down.
And that is not easy, Steve. I mean, to take the bump, to maintain control of your body, and put it in the hole, tremendous play.
Trevor Ariza last season with perhaps the best campaign, Steve, of his 10-year career.
Yeah, he played starters minutes, shot a career-high three-point percentage. I think a lot of it, Kevin, was just the combination of playing with good bigs and then also John Wall's emergence as a great point guard. Ariza had a lot of open looks last year.
Here's Tucker. He feeds it to Bledsoe. Ariza with the rebound.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
You could say that Ariza was in a contract year, looking for a new contract, playing for a new contract, but he's upped his three-point percentage for 3 straight seasons. It seems he's put in the work to really solidify that part of his game.
Here's Morris. James Harden picking up that last basket. Morris kicks to Bledsoe. Some nice ball movement here by the Suns. Buries the long-range jumper. Morris has got himself on the board with 3 there.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
And Ariza has always been great shooting threes from the corners, but he's diversified a bit. Last season, the highest total of three-point makes in his career.
4 makes on 4 tries. Everything's falling early. 100%. Can't do better than that.
And it's Bledsoe off the drive, and that one's good.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Now it's ended down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Jeff Hornacek.
He said their scouting report is really all about how to handle Dwight Howard. Obviously a tremendously impactful player at both ends of the court. Coach said, offensively, we always need to know where he is. Defensively, it's always about doing your work early, trying to hold your ground and deny him prime position inside. Sounds like a good plan, Kevin.
And thank you, Doris. Here's Jones. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time.
You can't give him that shot. I mean, a few open looks are all it takes, and he can really get rolling.
Dragic kicks to Plumlee. Tucker dishes to Bledsoe. Pass to Plumlee. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Really good example there of some fine interior passing before that basket.
Beverly with the ball. Screened by Howard. Now Beverly. Harden outside. The 3. And another 3 for Houston.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Boy, the field goal percentage is fantastic. Exactly the kind of start they were hoping for.
No good from Bledsoe.
Well, the defender was on him like glue, all up in his airspace. That's a very low percentage shot against that kind of D.
Yeah, you're right. Best not to force it when you've got someone draped all over you like that. You got to move the ball on. They've done a lot of good work with the ball. Really moving both the ball and moving bodies, getting quality chances at the hoop.
And they're not wasting chances when they get them. I mean, they're hitting their shot. Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
Well, you don't see him miss that shot very often. When he's open like that, it's usually lights out.
Here's Tucker. Morris. And it comes off the front of the rim.
You gotta like the defense not quitting on the play and getting a hand in the face.
Sure do. With a tough defender breathing down your neck, that makes it not an easy shot.
Harden kicks to Howard. Pocket 6. Right side Jones. And the Rockets getting another bucket right there.
They built a big lead here early.
Both defensively and offensively. They've been terrific right from the tip.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. Now here's Plumlee. He's guarded by Howard. Plumlee, the pass to Dragic. Here's Morris. And again, it's the Suns missing. Rockets leading by 10. Ariza goes in. Here's Jones. Rebounded by Tucker.
Jeff Hornacek, who was the 46th pick back in 1986 and the 16th head coach in Suns franchise history. He surprised some people when he was named the Suns head coach, but he quickly proved himself and actually came in second for Coach of the Year after a terrific season.
And that one's good. And so it's Houston with it. Now, here is Harden. He's got 5. Jones with the screen on Dragic. Harden dishes to Ariza. From 12 feet out. Good on the shot. Ariza's got 8.
They're allowing a sky-high field goal percentage. That won't get it.
Not at all. They've been able to score with ease.
Harden against Dragic. He kicks it to Morris. The shot misses. Good D by Jones. And here's Harden. The feed to Jones. Morris with the rebound.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
It's stolen by Jones. Beverly with the ball. Eric Bledsoe covering. And Beverly kicks to Harden. Jones, no luck.
Yeah, he's surprised he didn't make that one because he had a pretty clean look at the hoop. This defense has been way too soft early on. They've got to start playing with some energy.
You know, Steve, do something, anything to throw their shooters out of rhythm is what's got to happen here.
Here's Tucker. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. 4 on the shot clock. And Bledsoe, here we go. Pulls up on the elbow. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Things have kind of gone south for him here in the quarter.
And that one's good. Beverly. Beverly's got his second bucket of the game to go.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play. And that sends Eric Bledsoe to the free throw line. That's on Dwight Howard. Phoenix making some changes. Alex Len's checked in for Plumlee. And Marcus Morris subbed in for Markieff Morris. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Rockets?
And they're knocking down that mid-range jumper so far.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
Now, here's Ariza. He's got 8. Beverly, the pass to Jones. The shot is off.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Here's Morris. Bangs home the trifecta. Morris has got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Suns. Harden outside. Ariza outside. Back to Harden. Kicks it to Beverly. Lets it fly. Excellent D there from Bledsoe.
Take a look at the rebound totals, guys. That's +5 now on the glass.
And, Steve, I don't think there's any question which team came out with more energy and enthusiasm.
Now here's Bledsoe. Ariza with the rebound. Ariza's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's cost him.
Pass to Beverly. He's up top. Dishes it to Jones. Fade away. That's good. Jones has got 6.
Well, there you go. If you're going to continue to give up open jump shots, you're not going to get back into this game.
Timeout called, the Suns.
Terrence Jones was part of the 2012 championship team at Kentucky with Anthony Davis. And in year 2, with the Rockets stepping into the starting role at power forward.
Houston making some changes. Jeff Adrian's checked in for Jones, for Trevor Ariza. And it's Cannon in for Patrick Beverly. And then for Phoenix, Warren's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Green comes in for Goran Dragic. And Thomas subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Now, here's Thomas. And the wide open shot from Warren. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Warren's got his first 3 points of the game.
And Jones able to play on the perimeter a bit to create space for Dwight Howard inside. A former point guard in his younger days. He's a good ball handler, but his passing and shooting still a work in progress.
Here is Howard. Adrian dishes to Cannon. Houston moving the ball around. That's good. And the Rockets lead by 11.
This is great. Three-pointers going down quickly at both ends.
Yeah, it took them no time to answer back on that possession.
And Terrence Jones listed at 6'9" with the 7'2" arm span. Those numbers tell you he plays bigger.
He really does. He's strong on both backboards. He brings some shot blocking presence, and he's still really young and starting to put it all together. But I love his potential, and I like the progress he's shown to this point.
Here's Cannon following the basket by T.J. Warren. Harden kicks to Howard. Back to Harden. Puts up a 3. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Boy, Kevin, I like the way they've come out here. I mean, they're shooting it well and with confidence from outside. Just a good, strong start for them.
Len sets a screen for Thomas. Here's Warren. Again, Phoenix.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Harden kicks to Adrian. Howard in the post. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. 1:36 left in the first. Here's Warren. He's got 7. Another 3 for Phoenix.
That's his 4th straight make right out the chute. He's setting a pretty high standard for himself here.
Yeah, it's the kind of start you want every game, but of course you rarely get it.
Here's Cannon. 7-point differential. Over to the wing. Here's Daniels. The offensive rebound. Howard. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Alex Len picks one up.
The offense just getting right to the rim, but at least they saved the layup with the foul.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layups. Earn it from the line.
Well, you know, Dwight Howard has gone through his share of nicknames over the years, and some of his names have been self-imposed. But Coach Kevin McHale has taken to calling him Big Horse. I'm not sure. We'll see if that one catches on.
Steve, what do you think of that nickname, Big Horse, for Howard? That do anything for you?
Not really, Kevin. In fact, it's the first time I've ever heard of it. I just prefer to think of him as Dwight Howard. Does that do anything for you?
No.
As you would expect from Steve, ever the straight guy.
And he's good on the second.
You know, Dwight Howard had started 6 straight All-Star games until last season. The new balloting system with 2 backcourt players and 3 frontcourt players resulted in Blake Griffin and Kevin Love in the starting lineup. Howard felt slighted. He thinks that centers are kind of getting the short end of the stick here.
Now, here's Thomas. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
No matter what the score is, his attitude has been perfect. I love his disposition. He has stayed in attack mode.
Here's Cannon. He dishes it to Howard. Stolen by Len. Green inside. Now, here is Morris. Defense is right there. Len passes to Warren. Here's Thomas. Another one falls for Phoenix.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
Howard with a screen on Thomas. And Harden wide open. He shoots. Here's Daniels. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should really continue to work it down low, Clark. That's really going to free up the rest of their offense.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here.
Daniels. One shot.
That free throw good from Daniels. Just 4 seconds left in the first quarter. Yeah! Boom! What a shot!
Look at that.
Man, what a play.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Rockets lead by 4. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. Suns trail by 4. On the court right now, second quarter starting for the Suns. We've got Plumlee, Anthony Tolliver out there with Warren. Then there's Gerald Green, and it's Thomas in at the 1 spot. Now here's Green. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And there's a whistle. That goes on Terrence Jones. That's his first foul. And Thomas, here we go. And it's Phoenix scoring again.
Defense just has to fight over the top of those screens.
Especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, he doesn't miss too many open shots.
Jones dishes to Daniels. Here's Canaan. Passes it to Adrian. Feeds to Daniels. Shot clock at 6. Here's Canaan. The shot is off, so Phoenix will take it the other way. Well, the Phoenix Suns, really one of the surprise teams last season. Expected to vie for the worst record in the league. They were a playoff contender in the brutal Western Conference, no less.
Yeah, quite remarkable the job Jeff Hornacek did, and you have to give a lot of credit to not only Hornacek, but also to some player acquisitions they made to move that team right on the verge of being a playoff team in the West.
Here's Canaan. Isaiah Thomas making his last shot. Canaan kicks to Jones. The turnaround jumper. Count it. Jones has got 8.
And for Coach Hornacek of the Suns, he oversaw drastic improvement at both ends of the floor from a team that had been the second worst offense in the league and the 8th worst defense 2 seasons ago. They were around the top 10 in both categories last year.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Yes, Kevin, James Harden, a 6th man with the Thunder, but he's the go-to guy in Houston, a role he's very comfortable in. He said, quote, in college and high school, I was always the focal point. Now I'm back to my old ways, needing to be the leader, needing to score. In any situation, I'm going to be good. Kevin, he's certainly been good for the Rockets.
A one-man wrecking crew, Doris, thank you. Adrian can't hit.
And for the Suns last season, they exceeded their Vegas over-under for wins with 50 games to go. Wow. A lot of people figured they'd tank for a pick. Instead, I think they shocked the league.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
Here's Canaan. He's guarded by Thomas. Canaan, the pass to Ariza. Left side, Ariza. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played, and he uses the glass on the layup. The Suns trail it. Phoenix calls timeout. Well, the Rockets, wouldn't you say, are really to be commended, Clark, for rebuilding this team without tearing it down to the studs or tanking, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. I mean, they've improved dramatically with Harden and Howard. But this is a team that's held a winning record in the West now for 8 straight seasons. That's pretty impressive.
It is. Houston making some changes. Johnson, he's checked in for Daniels. And it's Patrick Beverley in for Isaiah Canaan. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Phoenix. Dragic comes in for Green. Now here's Plumlee. He's got 6. It's Dragic with the drive, and it's blocked by Johnson. Off the pick. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him.
And the Rockets showed great patience and planning over time, freeing up cap space, acquiring young assets. That enabled them to trade for James Harden and, of course, attract Dwight Howard in free agency, too.
And this Rockets team, for all of its success, is still young, still developing that chemistry, but make no mistake, they've elevated themselves from playoff contender to potential title contender. I think exciting times are certainly in store in Houston.
It's amazing. Isaiah Thomas is just a fighter. He's adapted and thrived at every level. In his 3 years at the University of Washington, he got better and better each season. And in the NBA, barely even projected to make the league. He's outplayed his competition and continued to improve.
Both free throws good from Isaiah Thomas. And for Thomas, a success born of maturity and dedication. Clark, he said he had to grow up young, going to a boarding school at 16.
Yeah, a school across the country from his family. I mean, that can't be easy when you're only 16 years old. He said he hated it at the time, but it's really what made him go from being a boy into being a self-sufficient man. And you can't discount that in his development.
Now, here's Thomas. He's got 11. Tolliver for 3. And Jones pulls it down. Jones has got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Beverley, and they cash in right away with the quick shot. Beverley's got 6 points.
Good job there, Kevin, getting himself a little space on the inside.
Thomas dishes to Morris. Here is Tolliver. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Eric Bledsoe's checked in for Isaiah Thomas.
Eric Bledsoe.
Houston's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Now here's Beverley, guarded by Bledsoe, and that one's good. Beverley.
It seems like when they've gone to him, he's really come through, and that's not something they should get away from.
And Bledsoe, here we go. Down low, here's Morris. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. Bledsoe's got 4 assists in the game.
He put that lead pass in perfect position for his teammate.
The dish now to Ariza. The pass to Beverley. 5 on the clock. Back to Ariza from the arc. Phoenix grabs the miss. Tolliver's got his 4th rebound in this one. Out to the right wing. Bledsoe outside. Fires from 14. Almost, but it rolls out.
Difficult shot from mid-range, and the defense was all over him.
Boy, I like the close out there, Steve. Well done.
Johnson kicks to Adrian. Back to Johnson. They set the pick. Ariza has the open look. Bangs home the trifecta. Ariza's got 13 points.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Bledsoe passes to Morris. He feeds it to Tucker. Pass to Morris. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Morris has got 4 points in the quarter.
Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
Now here's Beverly. Guarded by Bledsoe. Ariza outside. He kicks to Jones. Ariza goes in. Again, the Rockets score.
Well, offensively, he's taken a solid opening quarter and just built on it here in the second.
Bledsoe kicks to Dragic. Back to Bledsoe. And there's the feed to Tucker. Bledsoe with it. And he gets the bucket. Bledsoe's got 6.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
The defense has to make an adjustment. They've got to string together some stops, or at the very least, try to force this team into some bad shots.
Now here's Ariza. He's got 15. Jones in the post. He's against Morris. And the basket by Jones.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Clark, just piling up points in the paint.
Johnson against Dragic. Kicks it to Bledsoe. Outside Dragic. Unloads from 13. Another one falls for Phoenix.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
And giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
Phoenix was one of several teams in the West that was a surprise to many, and they were able to sneak up on a lot of their conference counterparts early in the season.
Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Houston. Harden comes in for Trevor Ariza. Morris is checked in for the Suns. Now Howard. He's got 5. Pass to Johnson. Here's Beverly. The shot's good on the assist by Johnson. Beverly's got 11. One thing with the Suns, Clark, that helped them to a 28-24 Western Conference record is that they knew how to go on mini runs to close out quarters.
You know, they were very good last year towards the end of a quarter, and as you said, Kevin, that kind of play helped them sneak up on a lot of teams out west. They were clearly the surprise team in the NBA, I think.
And so here is Houston after the miss from Goran Dragic. Johnson dishes to Harden. 6 on the shot clock. From about 19 feet, and that one's good. 10 points for him.
You know, that's one way he can finish, but not the only way. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
Bledsoe passes to Morris. Bledsoe kicks to Dragic. Back to Bledsoe. Hits the 3-point bomb. Bledsoe's got 5 points in the quarter.
Boy, after having a tough time in the first, he's managed to turn it around nicely this quarter.
Everly with the ball. Eric Bledsoe covering. Harden right side. Johnson outside. A 3. And another 3 for Houston.
This is great. 3-pointers going down quickly at both ends.
Yeah, it took them no time to answer back on that possession.
And Bledsoe has it in the corner. From deep. It's rebounded by Houston. Adrian's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
And they've needed every one of those rebounds. I think that's what's put them in front here. Boy, the floor really opened up for them there.
It sure did. A good job getting it started before the defense can get itself set.
Bledsoe dishes to Morris. And Tucker kicks to Bledsoe. Bledsoe right side. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Bledsoe's got 11 points. 1:51 left to play in the first half. Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession. Daniels, he's checked in for Johnson. And for the Suns, Alex Len comes in for Markieff Morris. And it's Gerald Green in for P.J. Tucker. There's 1:47 left in the first half of basketball. Len sets a screen for Bledsoe. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. 13 points in the game.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Beverly the pass to Daniels. Dishes to Adrian. Harden inside the three-point line. Morris with the rebound.
Great look, disappointing result.
You know, most times he knocks that one down.
Green dishes to Bledsoe. And there's the call on Howard.
And another foul would give him 3 before the half, something to keep our eyes on.
Isaiah Cannon, he's checked in for the Rockets. And the Suns making a change here as well. Warren's checked in. .107 left in the first half of basketball. Morris kicks to Green. He dishes it to Bledsoe. Back to Green. Lets it go with a 3. It's rebounded by Houston. They've led by as many as 14 points. Cannon the pass to Daniels. Adrian kicks to Cannon. The Rockets with another miss.
Well, it seems like they're getting a little fat and sassy here, complacent in the second quarter.
Fat and sassy. Come on, Clark. I mean, we're seeing their free throw attempts diminish, but I don't know about calling them fat and sassy. That seems kind of harsh.
Now, here is Morris. Shot clock at 6. And the basket good.
Tell you what, despite that hot start from long range, they've really gotten away from the three-point shot now.
And I know that's sacrilegious to you, Steve. I mean, being a shooter and all in your past, you figure you should be firing away from out there at all times. But the mid-range game and in-between game served me quite well. But that hasn't been the best meal ticket for them here in the second half. You got to go with what you do best.
Here's Bledsoe. Can't get it to go. And so that brings the first half to a close. Rockets on top. They lead by 6. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Dwight, what's your assessment of the team you're playing here tonight?
They're a tough team. You know, they play hard, they play together, they move the ball, and they know how to play within the offense, you know. And we've been doing a better job on the defensive end, and I think tonight we came out with the right mentality. Just got to keep it up.
Dwight, thank you. They know they've got their hands full, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Without question, Trevor Ariza displaying his skills today.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that tally in the second half.
Suns trail by 6. Terrence Jones is down low with Howard. Beverly and Harden man the backcourt. And it's Ariza in at the 3, the small forward. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. Now, here is Morris. Bledsoe dishes to Plumlee. And Jones pulls it down. Jones has got 8 rebounds in this game. Here's Beverly. Bledsoe with the block. Right side, Dragic. Passes it to Plumlee. Feeds to Tucker. Good ball movement here by the Suns. Morris passes to Dragic. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Launches a 3. Cannot hit. The Rockets go the other way with it.
Goran Dragic last season really became a premier offensive weapon, dramatically improving his shooting percentage. In fact, over 50% from the field and 40% from long range, while scoring 20 points a game. Only the 3rd player in the last 2 decades to hit those marks.
Now Beverly, after the missed 3 from Goran Dragic, Ariza has the open look. Here's Howard, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Howard's got the first field goal of the second half for Houston. Bledsoe outside. It's going to be out of bounds. The Suns will retain possession. And Dragic can do it all offensively. Clark spread the floor, slash to the rim, and he got to the line over 5 times a game.
That ability to get to the line puts defenses in quite a bind. When you lay off of him, he can rise up and knock it down, and you crowd him, he'll blow right by you and get to the line.
Now here's Ariza. He's got 15. And Beverly kicks to Jones. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Jones has got 12 in the game.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
And it's Bledsoe off the drive. Dragic kicks to Bledsoe. That is good. 15 points in the game.
You know, the only tough part of that basket for him was getting into such good position. The rest of it seemed easy.
Beverly dishes to Harden. Jones with the screen on Dragic. Here's Harden. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Now, here is Morris. He has 7. Right side, Dragic. And that one's good. Dragic has got 6 points.
Well, I tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
And here's Harden. 14 points for him. Beverly, the pass to Harden. Right side, Jones. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. 14 points for Terrence Jones.
That was some slick passing from Harden on that one.
Phoenix calls timeout.
Well, you know, not everybody was happy with Dwight Howard signing in Houston. The Rockets starting center, Amir Ashiq, was not shy about expressing his displeasure. And, you know, I think that hung over the team for a while. And it wasn't until late in the season that was kind of put to rest.
Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Back to Dragic. The dish to Tucker. And it's sent back by Howard. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Rockets leading by 8. Harden has a wide open look. Sinks the 3-pointer. Harden's got 17.
Well, it's kind of been the story here today, hasn't it, Clark?
Here's Bledsoe. He's got 15. Dragic kicks to Bledsoe. And the pass to Tucker. 6 on the shot clock, and the powerful one-handed slam. I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity, Clark, to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. Gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw, the defensive presence was almost non-existent. They may see this lead disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
Here is Plumlee, following the basket by Dwight Howard. The shot by Bledsoe, nobody around. And it's off the back rim, no good.
Such a solid performance for them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
Now here's Beverly, 11 points in the game. Here's Jones. He feeds it to Howard. And the shot is good.
Well, they've been so sound offensively in the second half. I love the way they're playing.
Yeah, there's really no comparison in the shooting percentages between the teams since the break.
Here's Dragic. 6 points for him. Tucker dishes to Bledsoe. Good on the triple. Bledsoe's got 5 points now in the quarter.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
P.J. Tucker, a rookie second-rounder with the Raptors back in 2006, 2007. Really barely played then, and then spent the next 5 seasons playing abroad, trying to find a spot to play. Finally returning to the Suns over the last 2 seasons, he has really established a niche. A tough defender, good rebounder, excellent all-around player.
And Phoenix making a change here. Thomas is checked in. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Thank you, guys. I had a chance to find out what Jeff Hornacek was discussing with his players. He said a big part of their focus should be on offensive rebounding, to get bodies to the glass at that end of the floor and work hard for second chance points. He told them also they should be swarming to the basket at the offensive end. He wants a lot of bodies inside. Coach was not wasting any time in altering their strategy here in the second half. And Kevin, he's going to have to hope those changes take effect quickly.
Thanks, Doris.
You know, P.J. Tucker capturing that starting small forward job with the Suns after only 2 months, very impressive. He was not a perimeter shooter 2 seasons ago. As a matter of fact, coming out of college, he was known more for his energy and defense, but last season, he really developed into an accurate three-point shooter.
And so here is Houston, following the score by Phoenix. Jones with the screen on Thomas. Beverly the pass to Howard. Harden kicks to Howard. The jump hook, and again, the Rockets good for 2. And Tucker at 6'6", a college power forward. Steve, he's made the transition to small forward in the NBA.
You know, but he still brings that big man physicality to his defensive approach. He's a good rebounder. He's tough. If he can continue to shoot well from 3, I think he's going to stick around this league for a long time.
They have got to put a body on him, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
Anthony Tolliver, he's checked in for the Suns. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Rockets.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous, very unselfish.
And they've been knocking down the mid-range jumper as well.
Miles Plumlee, Steve, buried on the bench in his rookie season with Indiana, but the Suns saw something in him, and they would not sign off on the Luis Scola trade without Plumlee coming back in the deal.
Well, it was a good move on their part. Plumlee stepped into their starting center position, played very well, and has a bright future, really, in Phoenix because he fits right into what they're trying to do.
Dragic dishes to Tolliver. Pass to Plumlee. Soft touch off the glass. Plumlee's got 10 points.
Fantastic pass. He turned that one into a pretty easy basket for his teammate.
Beverly the pass to Harden. Jones sets the pick for Harden. He kicks to Beverly. It's Ariza on the wing. There's the feed to Beverly. From downtown. Can't hit. And Phoenix will come the other way.
And the Suns' top draft pick, Alex Len, dealt with ankle issues last season. That being the case, how big was Plumlee for them? I mean, he's a big-time glass eater inside and above-the-rim finisher to help force the D to collapse. He's a guy that I think has tremendous upside and is extremely athletic for a front-line player.
Here's Ariza. The Suns getting the bucket. Harden kicks to Howard. Rockets good for 2.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this high.
And Plumlee still working to expand his skill set, but you don't find many 7-footers who can uncork a 40-inch vertical leap. I mean, his athleticism sets him apart.
Now here's Dragic. He has 6.
Well, an 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference.
Here's Ariza. Kicks it to Jones. From down in the low post, it goes. Jones has got 18 points in the game.
You know, offensively, his quarter has been perfect. Not a single missed shot. They got to keep riding him.
Plumlee sets the pick for Thomas. Pass to Plumlee. And Jones sends it back. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. Houston making some changes. Daniels, he's checked in for Harden. And it's Cannon in for Patrick Beverly. And the Suns here with a different look. Alex Len's checked in for Miles Plumlee. Morris comes in for Anthony Tolliver. Warren's checked in for P.J. Tucker. And it's Gerald Green in for Goran Dragic. And so here's Phoenix. Down by 15. Thomas dishes to Warren. Thomas kicks to Len. Feeds it to Green. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. Block shots, a stat that sometimes doesn't tell the whole story. Big-time shot blockers aren't always elite defenders. And then the opposite is true. Their block shot totals don't quite capture that great impact they really have defensively.
And I think when you look at Hakeem Olajuwon, I mean, the numbers show that he was a phenomenal defensive player. 3,830 career blocks, 2-time defensive player of the year. And I think you put him alongside greats like Bill Russell, who played before blocks were actually recorded, of course. But you put Olajuwon up near Russell in terms of maybe greatest interior defenders of all time.
And so here is Houston following Marcus Morris's 3. Here's Canaan. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. Len's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Thomas goes in. Dishes to Morris. Thomas with the ball. 11 points in the game. Pass to Warren. Green inside the 3-point line. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Rockets leading by 10. A minute 42 left here in the 3rd quarter. Daniels. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. Morris has got 4 rebounds in this game. He dishes it to Len. And here's Green outside. No luck. And it's Houston the other way. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points.
You know, before this recent streak, the last time the Suns went more than a season without making the playoffs was way back in 1988. See just how long it's been for them not to be in the playoffs for more than a year. Wow, impressive.
Here's Canaan looking for his first basket still in this one. 3-on-3. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
Houston's gone into the 3-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them.
This streak of the Suns missing the playoffs, of course, starting back in 2010, but 1988, a good deal of the Suns roster wasn't even born then.
Here is Daniels. He has 6, just 5 to shoot. Looking to end the drought. That is good. And the Rockets lead by 12.
Well, he can squeeze himself into the box score every now and then.
Clark, you look at last season with the Suns, they almost put an end to that streak last year, but ended 1 game shy of the playoffs in back of Dallas for number 8 in the West.
Right in the mix until the final week, Kevin. They won't have the luxury of being slept on this year, though, as the league is fully aware of how capable that group is.
Knocks it loose. Stolen by Len. There's the dish to Warren. Green inside. Here's Len. And that's good. Lead pass to get it done.
How about the delivery in the lane? Just perfectly done.
And we've reached the end of the third. Rockets lead by 7. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. Here's Kanan. On Phoenix, looking who they've got on the floor. Marcus Morris is out there with Warren. Then there's Gerald Green. Then there's Bledsoe. And it's Morris in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
They've built this lead through plays exactly like that. He's easily been their most consistent performer.
Well, he's been splashing everything today.
Now, here's Warren. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. 14 points for T.J. Warren. Houston leading by 7. Here's Kanan. Howard with this screen on Bledsoe. And it's Ariza in the corner. Drains it from beyond the arc. Ariza's got 21 in the game.
Second three-pointer of the half, 4th overall. So he's having a nice game from outside.
And the wide open shot from Warren. Again, Phoenix.
Yeah, he's been the key cog in their offense with the way he shot the ball.
His percentage today beyond impressive. Certainly not his fault the score is what it is.
Here is Daniels. The pass to Kanan. He's looking for Howard and finds him. That's tipped, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. James Harden, he's checked in for Houston. Patrick Beverly comes in for Isaiah Cannon. And then for Phoenix, Miles Plumlee's checked in for Morris. P.J. Tucker comes in for Warren. And it's Dragic in for Green. Outside, Jones. Ariza goes in. 6 on the shot clock. Second shot opportunity. Here's Howard. Here's Jones. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. Jones has got 20.
Well, it's the edge they've had in that area on the glass that's played a big role in this game.
Yeah, they've got some strong guys, Steve. Guys that are strong and well put together, and they've used that strength to their advantage down low.
Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Harden with it. Now guarded by Dragic. Harden kicks to Howard. Drops in the layup for 2. Howard's got 14 points now in the second half.
What an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender, giving up so much size, there's no way he's going to get a hand on it.
Bledsoe outside. He feeds it to Morris. And too long on the shot.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip. James Harden with those rush hour handles, whether it's breaking his man down in isolation or running the pick and roll, he keeps that thing on a string.
And Harden, a left-hander. Defenders tend to have more trouble, it seems, guys, with softballs.
Well, and especially with Harden because of how crafty he is. He's got that Manu Ginobili Euro move, the change of speed, change of direction, and then the strength. I mean, that's what separates him. He draws contact and seems to just go right through players.
And both free throws good for James Harden.
And the Suns training staff renowned around the league for their ability to keep players healthy. They're at the forefront, biomechanics and all that new school stuff. The results have been terrific. It's called preventative maintenance.
Now Beverly. Pass to Jones. Ariza outside. He's looking for Howard and finds him. Tries it from 9. The shot is good off the backboard. Howard's got 6 in the quarter. And when you ask people in the Suns organization about the training staff, Steve, they say they really hold players accountable. And that's the key in many people's minds.
Well, I was there with them, Kevin, as general manager for several years, and that staff is as good as any. And there's no doubt. I mean, if there's no commitment from the players to their conditioning and their training, it doesn't matter how good the training staff is, it's not going to work. What an excellent performance from the field for him.
Dragic against Harden. Outside for Bledsoe. Here's Tucker. A three-pointer off the mark. And here's Houston. They're on a 15-6 run. Harden kicks to Beverly. Howard with this screen on Bledsoe. Beverly the pass to Howard.
We watched Howard play some great basketball. He's got 21 points and a couple of great-looking rejections. So far, 2 blocks.
No, he's anticipated the ball movement down low. He's finding angles, and that's why he's able to go up there and really control that glass area with his shot blocks.
And the free throw good from Howard.
Well, playing in the West can be a grind, and that's what was impressive about where the Rockets ended up. They didn't rely on their bench a whole lot. They really rode their starters.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Suns trail by 17. Here's Tucker, and that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Dragic has got 3 assists now in this one. As you said, Clark, Rockets did well against the rest of the conference and really didn't have a deep rotation.
Usually that can catch up to a team, but the Rockets starters were able to stay healthy and log big minutes last year, and it's why they nabbed that 4th seed in the West.
And it's wide right, hits off the rim. The Suns have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the 4th. A pretty nice efficiency there. Morris dishes to Plumlee. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Shooting in Phoenix, Miles Plumlee. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
You look at what Plumlee has done so far.
He's got 14 points and also an assist.
Rockets leading by 13. Timeout called, the Rockets.
Yeah, and guys, I think he feels like he can make a few improvements during this timeout. Just kind of make a couple of adjustments, get his club back on track.
You know, coaches are always tweaking and tinkering with things mid-game. Actually, sometimes they overdo it.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Kevin McHale coaching his team during that break. He wants to make sure they stay assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, saying, I don't want to sit on this lead. Let's build on it and not give them a chance of coming back. Guys?
Now, here's Beverly. Now, here is Harden. 6 to shoot. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
A great job getting the ball inside right now. Coach really wants them to show some physical presence and toughness here in the second half. And that's exactly what they're doing.
At the line for your Rockets, Dwight Howard. Shooting 1.
And here are the Suns now. It's a 16-point game. And here's Dragic. And Tucker has it in the corner. And stolen by Ariza. There's the steal. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. Yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about.
And the Rockets with possession here. The Suns getting the bucket. Clock at 4. Fades back. And it's Dragic with the rebound.
Well, he had to fade away there. The defense was all over him, and he got it off, just couldn't get it to go.
Bledsoe blocked. Ariza with it. He's against Morris. And there's Ariza. That's good on the assist by Harden.
And his shots are dropping right now. This quarter has been very kind to him.
Bledsoe outside. Morris with the bucket.
Great interplay there between those two
Assist
teammates.
from Eric Bledsoe.
Rockets leading by 14. Harden kicks to Howard. Back to Harden. The feed to Jones. And Houston again with the bucket.
Ah, the turnaround jumper. That was a thing of beauty.
Suns trail by 16. Bledsoe outside. He kicks it to Dragic. Bledsoe passes to Dragic. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. 10 points for Goran Dragic. And for Houston, they're shooting a superb 63% from the field. Harden dishes to Jones. Back to Harden. He's looking for Howard and finds him. The jump hook, and it's Houston with another.
They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
Bledsoe kicks to Morris. Pass to Dragic. Three-pointer. Here's Plumlee. Rockets with the rebound. Beverly with the ball. Kicks it to Harden. Howard setting the pick for Harden. Feeds to Beverly. Left side Ariza. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got 6 rebounds here tonight. They set the pick. Bledsoe. Good D by Howard.
And excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
Now here's Beverly. Dishes to Harden. Passes it to Beverly. Houston moving the ball around. No one covering. 28 points for Trevor Ariza.
You can just see his confidence rising every time he knocks one down beyond the arc.
Plumlee sets the pick for Dragic. Over to the wing. Phoenix, no good that time either.
Now you can see why the defense is willing to let him take that shot. That's really not his range.
And that one's good. Beverly.
Look how well he led him there with that pass.
Suns trail by 21. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Here's Dragic from outside. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. 13 points for Goran Dragic.
I wasn't so sure he could get it turned around after that poor first half, but he's got it rolling here a little bit in the second.
Ariza kicks to Howard. And it's Houston with another.
You know, from that in-between range, they've actually been a much hotter team.
Well, when you make perimeter shots and knock down those jumpers, it opens up everything else.
Phoenix calls timeout.
Well, the league is making a push for more transparency with its officiating since last season, and I really think that's the way to go. They're sharing memos with teams and the media, and I think it's a great step, really, because, again, with all of the information and technology available, fans are able to see more and their expectations are higher. And when you can do it at a higher level and to help get things right, I think transparency is a good thing from the official standpoint. Help people understand how difficult their jobs are and the great job that they do as officials.
Houston leading by Here's Beverly. He dishes it to Harden. They set the pick. The pass to Beverly. Shoots from 12. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And it's Dragic off the drive. Good. And here are the Rockets now. Harden outside. The dish now to Ariza. Right side Jones. Here's the teardrop. And the shot is good. Jones has got 14 points now in the second half. Suns trail by 20. There's a minute 40 left in the fourth quarter. Bledsoe with it. Jones covering. And it's Bledsoe off the drive. Shot clock at 5. Morris, no good.
Very little success for him behind the arc today. Just 1 3-pointer in the first half and still none in the second. And we head to the final buzzer in a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance. This will go in the books as a really gaudy win for the Rockets.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
They knocked down their shots. I mean, a little luck didn't hurt either. A lot of their 50-50 shots went in the basket.
Depth always a factor in wins like this, and what an incredible game out of nowhere it was for Dwight Howard. He was extremely efficient offensively, getting looks, knocking down big shots all game long.
Now here's Jones. Off target at the rim.
Pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
To the middle. Here's Plumlee. Can't hit. And it's Houston the other way. There's 38 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Beverly, the pass to Howard. Comes up empty down low.
Tell you, the defense was right there, just waiting, doing a nice job of anticipating that play.
Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful.
Now, here is Morris. Dragic dishes to Morris. And Tucker kicks to Dragic. And that one's good.
Yeah, that's a difficult shot in the face of a defender that towers over him.
Well, you know, he almost seems to enjoy those mismatches, Steve. It gives him a chance to show what a strong finisher he is.
So we see Houston taking the W here. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, I'm here with James Harden. Congratulations on this win. It was a team effort aided by this electric home crowd atmosphere. What made the difference?
We just trying to play solid defense. Talk to each other, help each other out. That was amazing tonight. You know, it was unbelievable. Like I said, I'm happy for our guys. And, you know, we got a good victory at home.
Communication's so key. James, thanks for the time. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. And, folks, that about concludes our broadcast tonight. For Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, Dwight Howard.